Hello? Oh, it's you. What have they done now? Okay, leave it with me. For fuck's sake. Always the same with these two twats. Look, give me a moment whilst this statement comes through the fax machine. The chipmunk has requested, contrary to Rob's wishes, that a certain joke be removed from today's episode, stating Article 44, subsection 3, Clause 9, 2b of the Studio Channel 84 Human Resource Accord. Whilst censorship is not something the chipmunk supports, it is believed that this joke comes in direct violation of the aforementioned clause, and thus shall be removed from the following broadcast. The joke will henceforth be known as The Event in all other correspondence on this matter. It should also be known that it is not company policy to accept monetary dispensation for access to the event, and all mentions of this are not supported by Studio Channel 84 or their parent company, Business Incorporated. As usual, please direct all queries on this matter to the podcast's designated complaints department at the email patronsaint@channel84.co.uk. Thank you for your time regarding this matter. Sincerely, the Chipmunk. Right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
Why did you judge me?
You killed innocent people.
The means to an end.
You started a massacre.
I caused the revolution.
You betrayed the law.
Law!
Pilot, you armed? Armed and ready, sir. I'm packing.
Well, I'll be damned. It's the gentleman Guppy.
Pop it, D-Man!
Hi.
Unbelievable!
I am the Martian ambassador. We come in peace.
Want to get down on this?
Hello and welcome to the Untitled Sci-fi Show.
The smoothest setup I have ever seen.
I know, you weren't even that involved other than checking I made the lines exactly in the right position, which I was actually doing anyway.
Welcome to OCD.
Yeah, because the OCD hour. I've got a joke to tell you before we start.
Oh no, is it a dad joke, a rude joke, or a random joke?
All of the above.
Winning!
So there's three... I've written notes because I'm quite bad with the memory. So there's three old guys in an old people's home.
Right.
Okay, ancient guys. The first man says, I just really wish that I could just go for a number one and it just not come out in drips and drabs and be forced and just be really, just no flow. So frustrating. And then the second man says, you know what? I just wish I could have a decent number two. It's so difficult to go now, and it's small and frustrating. I'm just not getting there. And the third man goes, I don't know what your problem is. Every day, 7:30 a.m., I do a number one, and it's as powerful as the Niagara Falls. And every day at 7:35, I do a number two, which is as beautiful and large as Mount Everest. And the first man says to him, so what's your problem? And the third man says, well, I don't get out of bed till 9.
Oh. You see, I could tell you an old person joke, but you'd have to beep the entire thing.
God, I want to hear it.
Get ready to beep. So there's poor old sad Dan, and he lives in a care home. And
What was your life like before?
Before?
Before it was changed by Allegra Geller.
I operated a gas station.
You still operate a gas station, don't you?
Only on the most pathetic level of reality.
Okay, everybody.
Or literally...
It's recording.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say otherwise. And Valentino just cut in and say a really bad joke over the top of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking TJ doesn't want that joke to be aired, so it might be a Ko-Fi special. Subscribe on Ko-Fi and you may hear that joke. No promises. Okay, so guess the intro.
Guess the intro. That was over 20 minutes last week.
Guess the intro. So, great news.
Yes.
We have 2 winners.
We do.
2 winners of Guess the Intro. One is an old friend of ours, and the other is a new friend. And I have I just got a message that says, "Can you help me, please?" So,
oh dear.
Give me 1 second. Right, so you jinxed us there by saying only 20 minutes. Right, okay. So, what was I saying? Yes, 2 winners. One is a old friend of mine, someone you know through the podcast as well, and the other one is a time traveler.
He is a time traveler.
This person, who was the first person to send it in, has now got the record for the fastest entry by the fact that they actually sent it in the day before it was released.
So we've got to say, technically, they are the winner. We had 2 people that got the right answers, but the winner was actually our American listener.
Yes, they're from Missouri. Their name is Stephen, 2-time College Media Educator Hall of Fame inductee, Grammar Purist Chapel.
Nice.
That is a grammar purist on Blue Sky, everybody. So yeah, Stephen Chapel, I think he's a fairly regular listener. He does comment. He's on the list for Trek Roulette when I get round to it.
Yes,
as being a guest on Trek Roulette. We'll get there eventually, everybody. One day. But well done, Stephen. Yeah, as I said, you just because of time differences, technically you sent it in 6 hours before it's actually released. So well done. And the other one is, can you guess? No.
Oh, Stiddy?
Stiddy.
Oh, Stiddy.
We'll have to wipe name out because don't get a shout out if you don't win. And the other one, Stiddy. Yes, Stiddy got them all. Yeah.
Hang on, you'll beat name, but you won't beep my joke. That's going to get us back.
Absolutely not. I will not be beeping your dope. I'm going to keep beeping. Right, should we get on with it? This is definitely the unhinged podcast. Okay, let's get the file up. Are we ready?
We are.
Go.
Look, I'm not even looking at my notes for this one.
Something in those trees.
There you go.
That is Predator.
Of course, it's Predator. Well done. Easy one.
What
Easy one.
have they done to the new Predator?
Oh, I know, yeah.
So, okay, I am not a purist by any means, and it makes me laugh that I've read so many comments now on this new Predator. Is like, why does it look so human-like, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's meant to be a runt, apparently.
Okay.
There's meant to be, according to what everyone's saying, and because of Prey, which I still haven't watched, apparently it's very good.
Very good, yeah.
There are different clans of Predator, so they all look different, which I understand. It's an alien species. We all look different. It makes sense. I know they're not all meant to look like the Predator from Predator 1.
I think they are. But okay.
However, all of the purists are going on, oh, well, you obviously haven't read all the comics, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you can fuck about it.
The comics came after the film.
Mm.
The film was 86. Concrete Jungle, which was the first comic, 87. So sorry, if you want to go by purist and law, actually it's the films. So Predator 1 and 2 are what we expect of a Predator. Not very human looking, because it just didn't look good.
Sorry, everyone. The cat's here pushing on the mic arm. I have an opinion on it, and my opinion is not going to go on air. Again, subscribe to the Ko-Fi and you'll get my true opinion of why that monster looks the way it does. Anyway, next.
Not again. Yep, I know. Okay, I'll handle it. Look, don't make me go through this again. I know what he means. You know what he means. We all know what he means. He is a fucking prick. Let's just leave it at that.
I'm not a fool, Bliskin.
Call me Snake.
So that was Escape from New York.
Of course it was, yeah.
Haven't seen that one in years.
I have never seen it, so...
The cat is now pressing buttons
for
on the
God's
screen.
sake.
It's fine. It's not. Stop the recording. You
Blinking
are a
cat. It's a different one. It's not the one. This is Stripes. This is not the one who normally says hello to you.
No, this isn't. I was going to say this isn't the one that's normally biting me if I stop stroking it.
No, this one will drool on you instead. So be careful.
Oh.
Okay, next
a wet
one.
Pussy.
Anyway, you breathe liquid so you can't get compressed. The pressure doesn't get you.
You mean you got liquid in your lungs?
So that is
Okay,
the
now
abyss.
I picked that because of what you've
our
been
conversation.
saying.
So when we recorded with the Cheap Show boys, we were chatting with Sean and Ethan from Shut Up and Answer the Question, and we were talking about 80s films, and then we were talking about the abyss and how the liquid actually is real, and they really did that scene on the abyss with the rat making it breathe liquid. Horrible idea, but
it was horrible
it's
to
real.
watch. Yeah, because I was watching it on YouTube to get the audio. I was like, oh God, I don't remember this being as horrible to watch as it was, and yeah, it was. Yeah, awful. I felt really sorry for that rat.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Now, I seriously edited that clip because there's a lot of times...
There's still a bit more coming back to it.
Knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going, asshole. There's lots of like talking around. So I've got to cut this down.
Yeah. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, of course it is.
With the giant comb.
With the giant comb.
The only true wisdom consists in knowing that you know nothing.
Come on,
Bill
easy.
and Ted's bogus journey. Excellent journey, sorry, not bogus.
Yeah.
It's
Excellent
and I think
Adventure.
that's the excellent adventure, and that's the bit where they meet Socrates.
Ooh, I don't remember which bit it was.
It's
either that bit or it's when they're doing their speech in the
in the
school.
auditorium. Yeah, it could be the speech or Socrates. I don't think it's the Joan of Arc section.
No, I don't think it is.
No, I'm pretty. It's one of those.
It's because it's got the guitars playing.
Yeah, good point. So I think that's the auditorium.
Yeah.
Brilliant film though.
Oh, great.
Excuse me. I have to go. Somewhere there is a crime happening.
Well, I picked this one by accident without realising I'd already done it.
RoboCop.
Yeah. I realised after I made the whole thing, I was like, oh, I've actually already done RoboCop. Never mind. Who cares?
Yeah, original RoboCop film, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. As much as the new RoboCop film that they released was very PG-13, it was enjoyable. Some very clever moments in it when they reveal what's left of him. Absolutely brilliant. The rest of it just falls a bit flat, especially compared to original RoboCop. Like when he runs into the man who's covered in the toxic waste and it just explodes into liquid across the front of the car. Cannot beat that moment.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So well done, grammar purist, and well done, Stiddy.
Did you hear me, Chinese waiter? We want the special.
The special is for special occasions. I cannot give you the special.
So, what you been watching? What you been doing? What's going on?
Really not much. It's just been a really hectic week. I've started playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes, you did.
I hate the snow. I cannot wait for the snow to fuck off, so I have a free world to wander around rather than having to do pointless, boring missions.
I think, well, there's a lot of stuff. I think the general consensus was Act 4 is the best place to explore. Either Act 4 or Act 6. There's a point in time where you get to a certain way in the story where you you're not past a point of no return with your character, so that it's a really good, and everything's opened up to you.
Right, okay.
So I can't remember if it's 4 or 6. I'll have to look it up for you, so no spoilers for you.
I know that I've got a long way to go with it, and I will stick it out because I am enjoying it.
Man, it's so good.
It's just having come from when I played the original Red Dead, which really, it was like 1 or 2 very short missions at the beginning, and then really you were just free to go around and do what you want, and that was phenomenal. So a little bit disappointed that I've had to kind of go into, and I think
it's
people estimate between 4 and 6 hours of on the rails snow crap. I already pissed off the people I'm with by opening fire on the Irish family, the Driscolls. Yeah, I opened fire before he said anything, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And then we just annihilated them. So, oops.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think that's really it. I haven't done much. There's not been any sci-fi I've been watching. I've not even really had that much of a chance until I watched the film we're talking about today. to watch anything. It's been a bit of a quiet one for me.
Okay. Well, I hope you do stick out with Red Dead, because I think it's quite slow paced in some points, but that's not a bad thing.
It feels like it's a lot more cinematic, so you've got to really want to be involved in it.
You've got to want it, yeah.
So yeah, I will stick it out.
I mean, you can, as soon as you're out the snow bit and into Act 2, or rather Act 1 out of the tutorial area, you can just go around wherever you want. It's just, I think that a lot of the mechanics aren't open to you yet. Like the collection stuffs and all those kind of things might not actually be open up to you yet. So there's no point.
See, what I'm looking forward to is just going hunting. That's what I want to go and do.
Well, there's two different kinds of hunting in the game. There's hunting, and then there's like the big beast hunting, where it's like hunting a boss.
Oh, okay.
They are fucking cool. Yeah, the bear ones are really good.
So again, that's what I'm looking forward to. I guess moving away from Red Dead, the only other thing I would say then that's kind of sci-fi-ish, well, geekish, and I think we said that we talk about geeky stuff as well. I have been using iPhones since the iPhone 3GS.
Yep.
I've had every iteration of the iPhone since then. I've even had the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I only got in October. I am so bored and sick of what Apple are doing, I have actually moved to Android.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling, but I'll get there. And I don't think I'm going to go back to the iPhone. But it's... I still love Apple. I still love how the whole user system interacts with everything. So the iPhone works so beautifully with the MacBook. That all worked beautifully with the iPad. And it was just all tied together. Really, really nice. But what was getting me, and I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, that use iPhones, but things have been changing since about iOS 17. And I know I've got fat fucking fingers. I know that. But the keyboard in the past 2 iterations of the OS have become from 1 or 2 mistakes every few messages to almost every message I make, about 10% of the words are in error.
You know what? I've got to say, I've got an iPhone for work. It's one of the smallest over there somewhere. I do spelling mistakes on that constantly. Yeah. There's something about, I don't know, the placement of it. I mean, okay, it's a much smaller phone than my 7, but I do a lot of mistakes.
But I never used to. That's the thing. I never used to make mistakes, so I don't know what changed. But moreover, I found that the promise of Apple Intelligence and it just being absolutely shit, it's nowhere near the quality of any other AI out there. I would even say that Meta AI is better than Apple Intelligence, and that's pretty ropey.
Yeah.
I would then find that app crashes used to be something that you didn't really get. You might get one in a blue moon, and really was a blue moon moment thing. Really regular now. Apps crashing out, not working. And I just thought, you know what? I'm so bored of this as well. There's nothing new. There's nothing exciting about this. Yeah, I keep looking at the year by year, the Android releases, and seeing what my boss and the others are using. And it's like, that's a really cool feature. I'd actually quite like that. I don't want to wait 6 years for Apple to bring it out and it to be perfected. I'd want to have a play with it now. So, I'm on a Pixel 9 Pro XL.
Yeah, you got the sexy one.
And it's quite nice. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's SideQuest. Mark and I have had Google phones since the Nexus days. My last Apple phone that hasn't been a work one was the 4 something, when they added the 5th row.
Right, yeah.
So I had a 4, and then I got the next one when they added the 5th row, and I gave it back. And I said, this is ridiculous. It was a brand new phone. The only upgrade to it was an extra line of apps. And I just didn't see that as a worthy upgrade. So that's when I think I got the Nexus 4 instead. And that's when I went Android.
Nexus, I remember that.
So when I went Android, and I still have one of them, which I use as T's phone. And it's the one that's got the finger scanner on the back.
Oh, I remember
Now,
that
let me
one.
tell you how much better that is than being on the front. Because when you've just got it in your hand, and you can just... Because what you could also do, you could swipe it up and down, and that would bring the toolbar down from the top and stuff. Whereas I find with these ones, just with my line of work, I get a lot of cuts on my thumbs, just from the little fiddly cables and things, and lots of dirt in them. This thing, I constantly have to relearn my thumb on them and stuff. I never had to do that on that back one.
No, you see, that's a really nice touch. Now, the Nexus, funnily enough, that was a Motorola phone.
Yeah, Motorola made them.
And look at Motorola now. They make basically really budget Android phones, and that's it. It's one of these companies that used to be really out there. Oh, and sorry, we've got the Razr has come back onto the market. So you can now buy a fully pledged premium Android smartphone in Razr form, which is quite cool. But no, yeah, the Pixel 9 Pro's got a an ultrasonic sensor beneath the screen. So obviously not good for you. But as I said to you earlier, the face recognition is now what they call a level 3 biometric. So you can use it for banking, you can use it for all of those. And it's been amazing. It's been just as quick as the Face ID for Apple, really. I pick my phone up, and by the time its screen has come on, it's unlocked.
Yeah. I can get a new one now, but I'm kind of, both Mark and I are both waiting for October for supposedly the 10.
So I would say you're going to see the X release in the next couple of months, or at least it's going to go on pre-order. I got this at heavily discount on Amazon. I was looking at getting the Fold, and I kept thinking, will I get the Fold? Will I get the Fold? Will I get the Fold? And I just thought, I've got a giant iPad. I don't need the Fold, so I'm not going to. Can't get stock of anything. If you look at Google's site, almost all the standard 9s, so the 9, the Pro XL, only certain colours and sizes are available now. Everything else is marked as sold out. The Fold is sold out pretty much everywhere, and it's just refurbished or stupidly high money from private sellers because they know
that the new one's coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a sign they've run down the stock.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. On to you.
Those are sterilized, aren't they?
Not to worry. The way they set things up, you could fire in a bioport in a slaughterhouse and never generate an infection.
Then why the clean overalls?
Pussycat, stop headbutting the screen. You'll get your gooey face all over it. What have I been doing? So, more of the same games, really. A little bit more of Clear Obscure, a little bit more of Oblivion. Both of them have now taken a sideline because of your fucking fault. Saying that you wanted to play Stardew Valley on your phone. So I've had it for so long and I've never really got into it. I've always played it, like I played it on my phone too for a little bit. I was like, ugh, didn't like it on the phone. And then I got it on the Switch. And I never really just got into it. I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is Harvest Moon. I used to love Harvest Moon. And you said that, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put it on the deck. I'll just download it on the deck. I already own it, so I'll just put it on there. And I've played it every day for the last, how many days ago? Did you tell me 4 or 5 days ago?
It would have been back on Saturday or Sunday
I've played
when I
it
got the phone.
Every evening. And like that first 2 nights, I was up to like midnight or 12:30 still playing. Like, I can't go to bed. What am I doing? Just watering fucking plants.
My turnips are growing.
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of that. Also had a little go on that Precinct demo as well.
I did bin it off the mobile. I didn't like it on mobile,
No,
so I will
it's not
try it
good on
on the.
mobile.
I'll try it on the Legion.
Try it on your Legion.
The only thing I did enjoy was naming my farm Shitsville and saying my favourite thing was sodomy. And I was really hoping that it was like going to be your grandfather left something in his will for you. He's left you this farm, and your favourite thing sodomy.
Yeah, I don't think it means anything, your favourite thing.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I was disappointed by that, unless it does turn up later.
I think what a problem I think with the game is it doesn't actually hold your hand enough. I'm already looking at the wiki going, what am I supposed to do? Like it's like, oh, it's now time for the spring dance. Okay, I haven't met everyone in town yet. I don't know how to really interact with anybody at all. I like crafting. I didn't realize there's a button for craft. Like I didn't know the start menu was there. Pretty much where you can then tab through everything.
Oh, I had no idea that was there because basically I got to the point that it's like day one. So I went around and cleared a huge area and then
you're out of energy.
So I thought, okay, I'll go and quickly plant some turnips. And then I remember it saying, return to the house if you need to eat to get your energy back. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll go back to the house. How do I eat? I don't know.
Can you do that?
I'm
I
sure
could go to sleep in your house.
I'm sure that's what it said. So, exactly. That's what ended up. It's like, it's 12:01 p.m. I'll go to sleep then.
Yeah, I've had some days like that where I've tilled all the ground, planted all the stuff, watered it all, cleared a bit. It's only 10 a.m. I've got no energy. I'm out of bed then.
Yeah.
Well, what can I fucking do? I haven't got any food.
It says you're meant to eat to get energy and you can eat in the house.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I'm in summer already, so I should my guy's probably bloody starving. I've got chickens though. Chip and one's called Chip and one's called Prudence. I think
I'd have to call one Strips and the other Nugget.
Yeah, I did
Strip
think
and
about
nugget.
stuff like that, but I can never bring myself to do it. So I know I've played the Precinct demo, which looks like the old
That
GTA
does look
games.
very cool.
Runs like shit. It's pre-alpha. So the demo says it's pre-alpha or alpha or something. Runs like crap. Like on that amazing laptop that's yours, that's currently at my house, I had to put it on like the lowest settings.
Really?
Because it was just chugging. But it might have actually been because I realised I didn't have it plugged in, the laptop.
That would
power.
be why.
So I think actually that's what it was, because then suddenly after I finished playing with it and I was just kind of getting myself ready for this, making notes, it popped up saying going into power saving mode. I was like, oh, I wonder if that was why it wasn't plugged in.
That would be why it was chugging.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, I mean, it looks a great game, but that's it's an 8 gig 3060, an i7.
Well, I thought it was more just because it was like an alpha demo that actually it's just not been, done. I mean, the game's out now.
I mean, bear in mind, it was saying it gets 90 frames a second on the Steam Deck according to the Steam details.
Oh, I've downloaded the demo for the Steam Deck because it's £20 at the moment. So it's like if I actually really like it, I might get it ready for when I go away.
Yeah, I think I'm going to download the demo and give it a play, and then if it's good, I'll buy it because I like the fact that it looks like you can just drive around the city and go parking ticket, parking ticket,
yeah,
parking ticket.
Yeah, that's part of the story. You go around and give people parking tickets. It's quite fun. TV shows I've been watching. So I'm really into Mobland, which is on Paramount Plus. A Guy Ritchie series. It's got Tom Hardy in it.
That's the Tom Hardy one with the Harringans.
Yeah, Harringans. It's really good, TJ. If you haven't watched it, it's actually really decent. Like if people, I was saying it to some friends of ours down the road. Like, if they watch, I think they've watched like 2 episodes of it, but they've also watched Gangs of London. I was like, well, if you've seen Gangs of London and you think that's too gory for you, that's fine because this isn't like that. It has its moments, but most of it is actually just being gangsters and what happens, not so much cutting people's heads off every 5 minutes. I mean, there's elements of that. There's definitely bits of it. But, there's a great scene where someone's chopped up in a box and they're spending their time going, oh, that's actually, he's done a really good job there. And you don't see the body, really. And then they're commenting on how large the guy's cock is.
So
it's actually really quite funny.
It's typical Guy Ritchie humour fitted in to a fairly dark scene, which he does well, and he's always done well. You look at Lock, Stock, everything like that. He's always kept that dark sense of humour, and he's always had a bit of a chuckle, a lot of brutal side of it, and then normally pretty good dialogue.
This is more, the dialogue's great, but this is more serious, but the dark humour's coming from, people who are in bad situations and they bring comedy out. It's called something, isn't it? It's, supposedly you paramedics are meant to have it.
A morbid sense of humour.
Yeah,
I know
it's
what
got
you
a
mean.
special name, but and what's quite good is Tom Hardy's character. He's not the mob boss. He's just like the leader of the grunts.
He's
the fixer.
He's a fixer. Yeah, I was just going to say he's a fixer.
He's like the fixer, which is really nice because you think, I know they've got Helen Mirren in it. They've got some big fucking
Helen Mirren. You've got Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, I mean they're the heads of one of the families. But have you watched it?
I've only seen TikTok clips.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I've seen about a quarter of it based on TikTok.
Yeah, the TikTok clips are how I found it. Yeah, but anyway, it's really good. I really recommend that to anybody who likes gangster stuff and particularly likes anything Guy Ritchie does. And the other one is I watched a bit more Doctor Who. So I didn't like episode 2. I generally thought that was a bad episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then episode 3, I think that was the next. I think we've only watched 3 episodes. It was better, but it was certainly better than 2 because I didn't like 2. It's bringing back a baddie from a Tennant episode.
Yes, I've heard about this. I don't know who the bad guy is that they brought
so
back.
It's just a weird monster that, like, in the Tennant one, it didn't speak. It was like trying to mimic everybody and learn what they were doing and eventually take them over and take over the person it was mimicking. And eventually it was trying to mimic Doctor, but it couldn't do it. Whereas in this one, it's not doing that. It's like stuck to the back of someone.
Right.
So you can't see it unless you just kind of look. I'm doing it to you. This isn't good for an audio medium.
So
just look just to the side of them and then you might see its face whoosh past. But if you go directly behind them to a 12 o'clock position behind the person, it kills you.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was quite a good, thrilling episode. It's just a shame it was Shooty that was Doctor and not Tennant.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
In fact, Matt Smith's Doctor would have been better there.
Did he cry again?
I think he might have cried. Yeah, he may have cried. And they did the scene again. We're like, oh, darling, let's go change our clothes. Yay! The exact same scene they literally did in the second episode.
It's just not needed.
I know. It's like, yeah, we get it. You like changing clothes. So fucking what?
Exactly. They kind of highlighted the fact that he's got entire wings of the TARDIS dedicated to wardrobes.
Yeah, but the joke's good once. I think they've done the joke every episode. They certainly did it in episode 2.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it in episode 3. Well, are they going to do it in 4, in 5? And so every time they go to a new dimension, a new year is the person, what are they called? The person who goes around with him. My brain's not working. His helper. Are they going to go?
Companion.
Companion, thank you. Are they going to be like, oh, what about our clothes? Oh, then we better go to the wardrobe.
Yeah. So you do the joke once.
Yeah.
Then you wait a few episodes. And then you do something stupid like...
Wardrobe?
Oh, should we go to the wardrobe? And then just have the companion go, no, Doctor. Not after last time. Literally, just go to a brief clip where you got Shooty walking out, bare ass, just completely naked. And it's like, you took me to that naturist planet on purpose. We're not going to the wardrobes this time.
I mean, that would be funny. But
that's tongue in cheek. It's the sort of thing that's funny.
What they would do, though, I think, is they would have a pile of clothes everywhere. And it'd be like a changing room in Primark. And it'd be Shooty just coming in and out constantly. And she'll just be on one of the chairs, like a husband just going, oh, for fuck's sake, just pick something. And he's coming out and all these different clothes going, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? What else? I think that might have been it. Oh, and The Last of Us 2. I'm really enjoying it. It's getting really slagged off online. The actress, bless her, is getting really slagged off online. I don't understand why. Fuck you lot. I think it's great. Love you. Goodbye.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure here, where we are, is real at all.
Right. The reason we're all here. eXistenZ 1999.
eXistenZ is paused.
God, there's so much of this film that I'd forgotten, particularly the end. I'd forgotten the end.
So can I just point out, I realise I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the posters, I've seen a couple of clips here or there, so I went into this completely blind, and fuck me, is it weird.
It's so and can I just say as well, I think it's really gross. It is a gross... I felt physically sick anytime those back holes were on show and poked at...
No, hang on. I'm just got to say this. Cronenberg obviously realised, right, we can't have full penetrative sex on TV. How can we get away with it? I know, we'll just have them tongue each other's back holes.
Oh, that was so disgusting when Jude Law went and tongued her back hole.
Her licking her finger and then fingering him.
Yeah. Oh, every single time one of the ports was on screen, I felt physically sick.
And I'm sorry, but I have a feeling when he finally gets the working port and they go into the game shop and they're taken to the back room by the orange, and they go into the orange bloke takes them to the back room, doesn't he? He says, I'll leave you to it. And they insert their little version of the game pod into their bags,
so
and they
gross.
start having sex. I'm pretty sure it's meant that he's fucking her back hole. Hence the reason he pulls her back onto him, not just fucking her. He spins her.
No, I don't think he's putting his knob in her back hole.
I think that's what he's doing.
I'm not so sure.
I think he's filling her spine full of cum.
Topping up her spinal fluid.
Oh, I've got a headache. Oh, intracranial pressure. What's this coming out of my nose and ears?
Oh, it's so disgusting. Honestly, I did feel... Miranda stopped watching it. Like she went off to bed, so I finished on my own because I think she was getting freaked out by it as well.
Right, so we'll come to the holes in a minute. This film would not survive, unless it already has done, a 4K remastering. It is of its time. I don't know if it was done on a fairly strict budget. Cronenberg is amazing. I loved Cronenberg
I think there is a Blu-ray version of this, but it doesn't mean whether it's been 4K'd.
But there's like, if you look at Videodrome and all the other Cronenberg films, this feels very much like that. But this is quite late on. This was like, what, 99, did I say?
It's
Or
99, I said, yeah.
Yeah. So it felt quite backwards. I mean, look, did we tell us what? Do you want to say, right, before we get into it then, what's the story of eXistenZ? With a Z on the end.
eXistenZ with a capital X, capital Z. The premise is, so you're told, is there's this lady who is a game designer and she's created this new game. And she's got a group of people to product test it. Things go wrong. Somebody tries to assassinate her. And the only copy of her game is on the what are they called? The biopod or whatever it's called. What are they called?
I thought it was a biopod.
Yeah, I did write it down somewhere on my. This is the most notes I've done for any film that we've ever done, and I can't actually remember. Yeah, it's like this fleshy, gooey thing that looks like it's got a G spot and then two little nips on it.
Yeah,
it definitely looks like a vagina, and they wiggle at it, and then there's like nip. One point even flicks the nip.
Yeah,
that's how they get in and out of the game.
Yeah, they flick the nip.
It's so sexualized. It's so, but in a really gross way.
Well, I was considering it like a placenta.
Yeah, I guess it kind of.
Because of the umbilicus coming out of it and all of that. But
so that is it. Yes, it's this weird pod thing with a cord which looks like an umbilical cord, which goes and plugs into your back bio port, quote unquote. It's just a hole in your back. And it's like, and Jude Law makes a really good. Sorry, I'm going to get sidetracked already. A point of saying you have an open hole into you. How does it not get infected? And her answer to that was she opens her mouth to show him her mouth. As in, like, yeah, okay, your mouth is an open hole, but not directly to your spine. Like, that is an enclosed system that it's going into.
Exactly.
It's not like...
It's not just a hole in your back.
Yeah.
But, and let's face it, 1999 also saw the release of The Matrix. That just put a port in the back of your skull into your brain, but it was still a nice... sterile
it was
port,
a mechanical thing.
Yeah, you actually felt like it wasn't just going to let goop drop out or go in.
Yeah, that was a coupling of mechanical, cybernetics and,
Exactly.
And that made more sense than this gross thing that they were doing. Anyway, the only copy of eXistenZ, which is the name of the game, is on her gooey pod thing. And obviously things go wrong. And it gets corrupted, and the whole thing is like, we need to save this game for whatever reason it is, whatever it is.
Yeah, so basically she's got the one copy of the game, she's had a death mark put on her, and they're trying to... All she wants to do is play her own fucking game to make sure it's okay after the trauma of everything that's going on.
This was the thing about it. I was like, she's acting like she doesn't know the game. I was like, you fucking made the game. How do you not know how the game goes?
I'm going to just hold my hands up here. I paused it at the very beginning of the church scene when everyone got shot, and when they're in the game, aren't they? So
absolutely, yeah. I immediately I was like, because I don't even remember the film. I know I've seen it. It was one of those like Interview with the Vampire. It was one of those films that was always on in the middle of the fucking night. So I'd seen it a million times, but never all in one go at one time. So I think this might have been the first time I've watched it beginning to end, even though I've seen every section.
As it's a short film, it's 1 hour 36 minutes.
1 hour 30, yeah. And I clocked it from the very beginning. I was like, they're clearly in the game.
They're already in the game.
Clearly going to already be in the game, and this is all just a whole load of bollocks all the way through. And then it tries to do an Inception on you at the end.
Well, I was going to say,
are they really in it or are they not?
It's very Inception, or Inception took ideas from this. So yeah, so if you look at from the end of the film and then go backwards, you realise they're in the game to be in the game to be in the game, which is exactly what Inception did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to be in the dream to be in the dream, and so they try to mind fuck you and make
They
you
were
think,
really
am I still in it?
in a game called
Transcendence,
Capital
which is
C,
such
capital Z.
such a 90s thing, isn't
They
it?
did a great job with all the wordplay in this, I will say.
100%. But
and whoever made the biopod, whoever made the weird little lizard creatures that they pull out and have to gut, the designers of the sets and the monster creators, they did a really good job, didn't they?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, when they're in the game shop, you've got all the games dotted around and all the packaging, and they've all got props in them. It's all been properly vacuum packed and sealed. It's really, really, really good. It's really detailed. You cannot take away from that.
Yeah.
All of that. And even the gross bioport on their back looks good. It looks as you'd kind of expect it to be.
They're called game pods.
Game pods, right, okay.
I did write it down, yeah.
It's just, yeah, it just...
So she gets... So when they're doing kind of this like round table thing where they're getting... It's right at the beginning where they're telling people that there's this new game and, you're going to have a go. And then someone turns up late and it's Jude Law is there, like, he's acting as if he's like security, but actually he's not. He's just part of the marketing team. So he's scanning people's cards to let them in and sit down. And this guy has an original game pod and a really funny looking gross thing. But what happens is he pulls out, I was calling it the flesh pistol, but it's like a gun made of
an
bone.
organic bone gun is
An
what
organic
it's,
bone,
the
yeah.
props are calling that
Yeah,
anyway.
but I was calling it the flesh pistol or the flesh gun just because it looks gross. Yeah, and he actually shoots teeth.
Yeah.
What a fucking cool idea! I've got to say, it probably wouldn't work, but what a great idea to get through the metal detectors is have a gun made of bone.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very cool
And the
idea.
design of the weapon was brilliant. And then what a great thing is later on in the film, you see how that gun is made.
So yeah, that was
that
very
was a
cool.
repulsive
But
kind of thing.
what I really liked was, did you notice that they start playing a second game? So they go into eXistenZ and they're in the game shop, aren't they?
Yes.
And if you look around, if you look closely, on all of the racks are different games.
There are,
and there's
yeah.
a game called Hit by a Car.
Yeah, yeah.
Viral Ecstasy is one of the games.
You just said hit by a car. Have you been watching that thing on Netflix?
No.
That's called... Oh, no, maybe that was something else. There's a Tom Segura show that's on Netflix now.
Right.
And one of them in there where he's playing a game, and it was like... But yeah, the hit by car is in this, so I was then getting confused.
Okay,
sorry.
so yeah, there's Hit by a Car, Viral Ecstasy, and then Chinese Restaurant. Can you escape? And obviously they play that game, and that's what's really clever about it. It's just like, okay, they were in the game shop, and they're now playing a game from the game shop within a game. I quite liked that.
But you don't... Is it because it's corrupted that happens? That's what I was like, because I made that connection too. It's like, but they haven't gone and chosen to play the Chinese restaurant. It's just doing it. This is the whole thing I never understood about the entire film. It's like, I don't understand how she's made the game, but she doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
And why does it keep chopping and changing between things? Once they're in eXistenZ, you'd expect it to stay within eXistenZ. It's not, oh, why am I now in a completely different scene? Unless it's like... surely you'd have... actually, how to explain this? Well, before we explain that, so they're in eXistenZ, and they put out some very key things that are very regular in games now. So NPCs are exactly that. They are non-playable characters, and the ones that you interact with will just sit there on loop until you say the right thing.
Yeah, the guys literally stood there going, oh,
yeah.
Oh,
so we're
his head around.
So we're expected to believe that they've gone into that much detail that they're going to include shit like that. But we're not going to then get a cutscene which explains why they've gone from the game shop now into the Trout Factory and then into Chinese Restaurant Escape game. There's no explanation why they moved between those two areas, and that's a bit jarring. And as you say, if she was the creator of the game, surely she'd know why. Instead, all we ever get her saying is, oh, you'll get used to it. It's just the neural kind of excitement of it. And that's what then gives you away more and more, that if you didn't get it at the beginning, that they are just playing the game and they're already in the game to be playing the game again. And that this is just being generated based on ideas that are going on in their head at the actual game level.
Yeah, it was confusing. Not so much confusing that you couldn't keep watching it, but confusing enough that when the whole thing ended, I was a bit like, do I not understand what's going on because I'm stupid, or was there something that needed to be a little bit more explanation for me?
I think they thought they were being clever.
Mm.
And I think the very end bit when the soldier turns up and destroys the game
I thought
pod,
that was a little bit ridiculous.
and then they're literally just stood in a field with things blowing up around them, talking to each other, and she blows his spine out, which is a brilliant scene, by the way.
Yeah.
His back exploding.
Yeah, those
Brilliant.
squibs are really good. Yeah.
It just felt like they'd got to the point, if you haven't guessed that they're already in the game at this point, we're going to make sure you now know it's the game.
Well, that's it. That was the most gamey bit, because it felt like, yeah, this is a game character. This is quite clearly a game character. But this is after they've had the realization of them being in the transcendence. So this is like after all of that.
Well, this is it. Yeah, they've just unplugged from their game pod, which is now virused and whatever from the Trout Factory. They're meant to be in the safe house. And that's when they're then outside. They've just killed Ian Holmes, and yeah, they're just
you've missed a bit. So this bit they're in now is after they've come out of the transcendence bit.
Oh no, I'm talking about the bit when they're in the middle of the field tour. So when she blows his back out, and you've got everything.
Yeah, but that's how it ends.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But that's what I'm saying is the film director, Cronenberg, and everyone basically must have been thinking, we've got to give them an idea to make sure if they haven't realised it's still the game at this point.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. But it's an ending just like what Inception does, where you never see the spinny thing drop.
But yeah, then they come out and they kill the actual game designer, and it's like, yeah, you're still left with the idea of, are we still in the game?
No, I thought they kill the game designer, and then it's the bit where she kills. She kills Jude Law, and that's how it ends.
No.
I thought that's how it ended. I thought that was. Are we gonna have to pause it?
No, you've gone completely backwards, mate. She kills Jude Law, and then shouts, "Have I won the game?" And then they all wake up in the church and they're talking about my roles and Christopher Eccleston.
I got so fucking confused.
You've got yourself backwards, mate. So yeah, she blows his back open.
Yeah.
And then says, "Have I won the game?" And then it comes back to the church scene and everyone's discussing their part in the game.
You're absolutely
like
right.
the Chinese chef is basically saying about, "Oh, the soup's on me. Ha 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 ha."
Sorry, of course.
Eccleston,
yeah.
I was a bit disappointed. Not Eccleston. I think it's Holmes and Eccleston, but do a little back and forth about it was such a shame that our roles were so short. I was a little disappointed that our role was short and didn't feel like the character was required. And then they kill the actual designer.
Yeah, because then that's when it
woman.
appears on her. Sorry, yeah, because that's when the transcendence equipment appears. Yeah,
because
sorry.
Then it gets to the point. There's like, well, of course they wouldn't be making a fucking game console out of a fish. It's a physical device that they're wearing on their head, which looks a little alien. Which makes sense. That's what gives it away at the beginning of the film. It's like no one would be genuinely believing that they were just going to have a port in the back. It felt very fictional straight away.
Well, I think that proves to you how confused I did end up being when I was completely not understanding how the whole fucking thing ended. Standout characters for me, I thought Willem Dafoe was brilliant.
Right, so yeah, I'm looking at my notes here. I'm glad you brought Dafoe up because my notes here is...
What is his character called? His character was called Gas.
Yeah, Gas. So do you think Dafoe even needs directing?
Nah.
It's just like, there's the script. Just be you.
It's like, what's his name in the Apple TV show that we've been watching?
Oh, I know. The Severance guy.
The Severance. Yeah, it's like you don't need to direct him either. He just fucking goes, what's that guy's called?
I can't think of his name. I know who you mean and the world knows you. So here's a question. Do you think when they're escaping the church at the beginning, you've got really terrible kind of effect? So they've not done green screen. What they've done is they've got a rear projection screen set up in front of behind the car. And then they're filming them in the car with the rear projection going. So it looks like they're driving along. and they've just got this B footage rolling behind. It looks awful.
Yeah, Christopher Walken, by the way. Yeah, it does. Well, it's of the era, isn't it? And they just were all a bit like that.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't. They could have done it so much better. I'm wondering, did they do it to give you the idea that they're in the game, so it's not meant to be quite real? It's not meant to feel...
I don't know. You might be giving them too much credit.
I don't know, because a lot of it, things like the gas station and the ski lodge, it's got something very liminal about it. And with Cronenberg, it wouldn't... With liminal spaces and how they make you feel, it fits the idea that it's not meant to... It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like it's meant to be a natural place. So that liminal feeling is meant to add to it feeling a bit like a game. I don't know, but it's all a little... It just all feels a little bit odd. And I really don't understand this one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why does she carry her game pod around in a ski boot?
Yeah, I didn't get that either. Because if you're thinking like she's trying to hide it, she's only carrying one boot.
Yeah, she's carrying one boot with an umbilical cord hanging out of it most of the time. I think we know what's in there.
Yeah, it was I didn't get that either. Some quirky thing. And how 90s was her hairstyle too.
Oh, it's so 90s, the whole film. The thing that I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of Jude Law, but his acting in this, going from the mild-mannered sort of employee game character he's playing to then the NPC kind of character that she's assigned him, the switch is so good.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good at going from this little mild-mannered, like, what do you mean you're not going to tell me where you're going? And then suddenly this complete change in his character and like emotion. It's like, ooh, wow. Actually,
like
that's
him.
quite good.
Like, if I was going to pick holes in anyone's acting, if I had to do that, I think she's probably the worst one in it.
Oh, no, I don't know. I think Ian Holmes is pretty bad. I love Ian Holmes, but geez. The really thick accent, which I know he makes a joke of in the end by saying, "Oh, I couldn't understand my thick accent," and it's like, yeah, well, it was pretty bad.
They all had accents. Christopher Eccleston's accent was awful.
Oh my God, wasn't it?
We all know how amazing an actor he is.
Oh,
to
but
have that accent was like, what's happening?
But wow, what did he look like?
Yeah.
Wow, 90s Eccleston's not a good thing to look at.
No, he aged like wine, didn't he? He definitely got better.
Yeah, 6 years later, we got him in Doctor Who, and he looks fine.
Yeah, he's all right then. Or in Dog Soldiers. He looks good in Dog Soldiers too.
Does he look okay in Gone in 60 Seconds?
I don't remember him being in Gone.
He's the bad guy.
Is it?
He's the one they're delivering cars to.
Maybe I haven't seen Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, I love it. But I mean, it's very typical Cronenberg design. So all the things that you see, so all the mutated creatures in the trout farm, the game pod itself, the gun, that is all straight out of Cronenberg's books, just full stop. And it's all really deeply unsettling. The bit when they cut open the game pod and he's poking around and it's like got organs,
doing the surgery on it.
It felt really uncomfortable and really not nice to watch.
Yeah, that's it. I think every single part where it actually did focus on the actual mechanics of the game pod, the porthole, the creatures.
Oh, him cutting open the fish thing, the trout, and stripping out the organs.
I really felt viscerally sick watching all. I felt as I said, I really hated those back holes. The biopods, I hated them. And I don't have that hole phobia. You know, it's got that weird name for people who don't like holes and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I'm vaguely like that. And I can't think of its name now, and I know what it is.
I think if people did have that, they couldn't watch this. It was revolting. Every time my toes curled up, kind of like, oh God, having a physical reaction to these things. Making it sound like I didn't like the film. I loved the film. I thought the film was great, even though clearly I didn't understand what was going on.
Trypophobia or trypophobia.
Trypophobia, yeah. So obviously I didn't understand what was going on. I've proven that by talking about it for the last 20 minutes, that I didn't know what was happening or even the order of things. I didn't like the holes. I didn't think she acted particularly well. She was quite wooden.
Yes.
But Willem Dafoe, I thought was fantastic. I really like Jude Law.
Gotta say, he looks really young in this, and he actually reminded me a little bit of when he's playing the slightly coy employee, Ted Piker or whatever his name was. Reminded me of Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I could see that. It'd be interesting to see who actually went for the role and who didn't get it.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one, actually. I agree. I loved all of the set stuff, as I said, things like the actual stuff.
Set design was great.
And things like in the game shop, like as I say, having all the games like Hit by a Car, bass fishing, Chinese restaurant, Bear Attack was another one of the games you could have played. All of that was brilliant. It's a very random story, and if you enjoy being kind of jolted around and not fully making sense of what's going on, it's fine. It's an enjoyable film. I wouldn't say it's for everyone. Not by a long shot.
Certainly not, no.
The audio as well. I've got to say this. The audio is dreadful in that film. 1 minute, it's fairly good, and you can tell that they're using an overhead mic and it's actual conversation going on. And then the very next minute, you've quite obviously got one of them doing a voiceover of the clip. And I've got here, audio almost feels like, at points, it's a foreign dub of a film where they've obviously fucked the sound up. So it's just like, right, we've got to do, can you do that line again? And we'll just paste it over the top.
It might have been a scene with Eccleston, or maybe it's Jude Law, and it's on a profile of them both. Yeah, and he's kind of grabbing her, I think. And clearly the voice isn't the voice he's saying at the time. It's quite obvious. It's just not quite right. The sound quality is a little bit different than the rest of the scene, but also it doesn't quite match what he's saying. Clearly they've dubbed it in post.
Yeah, there's a lot of dubbing being done. I'm guessing they had to re-record because of either noise on set or something didn't go quite right. And I just feel it's been done fairly badly because it's very distracting, because it's quite obvious that someone in a studio has just said a line when the rest of the sound has got people speaking. You've got background ambience.
Yeah.
So it's quite cutting. Have you got much else to say? Because
no, I don't.
Right. There's something I want to say, and I don't know if you'll agree to this one. It's definitely of its era. It's definitely of the 90s. I've got here, it felt like it could have been a better X-Files or Outer Limits episode than a film. As much as I enjoyed the film, I think if you'd put that in the Outer Limits as a 1 hour long episode, you could have done more with it, and I would have probably enjoyed it more knowing it was part of a TV series than it as a film.
I don't know how you'd get it into the X-Files. The Bioport thing is the thing that takes it away, because how are you gonna get that into a Mulder? You know,
I don't know. I think you could probably get away with it as a one-off episode. Don't forget, we've got episodes like Eugene Toombs, the man who eats a liver every 10 or 20 years and lives in his own spit-filled
What
cocoon.
they would do is it actually attached to your belly button.
Yeah.
And it would be something saying that it injects into your belly button a needle. And that's what they would do, because then it gets rid of the Bioport thing, and you could put it out, and then in the next episode, people wouldn't be going, what happened to his Bioport?
Yeah, no, exactly. But it just felt very much like me. It felt much more of a sci-fi TV show idea than it would have been a film. And in fact, you could have even maybe have done it as a 2 or 3 part TV show rather than a film. And you could have maybe then done a bit more in depth and maybe made it a bit more coherent, maybe.
Maybe one day they will.
It wouldn't surprise me the way we're going.
eXistenZ is paused!
So, next time, I haven't told you what we're doing.
No, you haven't.
Again, I'm keeping them secret to my own little precious secrets until we.
Well, I've got a film I'd like us to do at some point. So, go on. What are we doing this time?
It is a 1987, I think, classic.
Okay.
It's a funny one because we've not done a funny one in a while. Spaceballs.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Good
we're going to
choice.
do Spaceballs. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I was thinking we're going to do Running Man. I keep pushing it back because you've showed me there's a potentially a new Running Man film coming out.
There's the Running Man film coming out, which is more based on the book. And if you read what everyone's saying, the original Running Man film is actually nothing like the book. Whereas this new one is going to be very, very much based on the book. So actually, I'm looking forward to it, because it actually sounds like I might like to read the book. So the book basically says the Running Man is someone that in the whole world, and the whole world are just told, kill this person.
Yeah.
So there's no meatloaf on a motorbike covered in light bulbs. There's none of that.
Well, we will get there.
It's people out there that are kind of just because they've been told to. So I'm looking forward to seeing the differences, and I think that might be one that's worth doing a contrast, going, which was the better film, which was the more fun film.
Maybe
I'll
tell you what we'll do. we'll wait for it to be out
Yeah.
in a couple of years' time. If we're still doing this, we'll watch the original Running Man, then go to the cinema to watch the new Running Man, and we'll talk about them both at the same time.
Sounds a
So
very
there's something
good
to look
idea
forward
to
to
me.
for 2 years' time. Oh, and the intro that you heard at the start of this one is another 80s special, by the way. They're all 80s films again. So have fun with that.
No, they aren't. 90s, you idiot. They are 90s films. I don't get paid enough for this. I'm going back to that Socks podcast. At least those two pretty boys know how to correctly read my rider.
So that's it. We're done. Thank you, everybody. That's me dropping my phone. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of the Untitled Sci-Fi Show. You can find us on absolutely fucking everything. Just go to www.channel84.co.uk. You'll find all of our social media stuff for not only the Sci-Fi Show, but also the Variety Show, which is kind of like the main meat of us two, really. That's where you'll find everything. And you'll also find the other Studio Channel 84 network shows. Namely, I'm going to do it the other way around this time.
Ooh.
Who Takes the Socks Off with Simon and Ross, and Lightly Used with Karen Adam. That really fucked me up by saying it the wrong way around. It really did. That did break me. You can email us at podcasts@channel84.co.uk, or you can email me directly at rob@channel84.co.uk or tj@tj@channel84.co.uk. Send your answers to Guess the Intro to anywhere where you know that TJ or I hang out. Probably a direct message on Blue Sky or Twitter is probably the easiest ones, really, but emails work fine. That's it, really. We'll see you next week for the Variety Show, and then in 2 weeks for the next Sci-Fi Show where we talk about Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Love
I am looking forward to that. By the way, if you want the direct access to all the social media links for the Untitled Sci-Fi Show, you can actually go to channel84.co.uk/Untitled Sci-Fi, and that takes you to all our episodes, and it also gives you all our social media links in one place.
Oh, and subscribe to our Ko-Fi if you want to know what the joke was that TJ said and what my real opinion is of why the Predator guy looks like the Predator guy. Love you, everyone. Bye-bye.
It wasn't racist.
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Sci-Fi Show. This station is now shutting down and will be back in 2 weeks. May the Force live long and prosper inside of you. This was a Studio Channel 84 network show. To find more, head over to channel84.co.uk now.
Puppies again, yeah? How many?
16.
Okay, cool. And what about the jelly beans?
Green. Only green. Don't you get any fucking red in there. You know how I feel about the color red.
No problem. Just green. Is that all?
Don't forget the massage.
How could I forget?
I want Simon this time. His hands are softer than yours. Yours are like getting a rub down from a Makita electric sander.
Yeah, Simon it is.
Good.
Recording's at 9. I'll send the car.
I'll be there for 10.
Prick.